welcome you to my kitchen today. We are making a peach cobbler, but I'm not using a crust. There are all kinds of recipes for impossible peach pies where it makes its own crust, but I really like this one the best that I'm going to show you. It's very simple, takes no time once you get your peaches ready. We live in the peach capital of the world, I guess, but there's a huge peach farm about 40 miles from where I live. And I can get fresh peaches there every year, and a lot of people buy them there and sell them in their vegetable stands. So you can get their Bader peaches, but they sell a lot of them. It's a very big operation. But they have the best peaches, and in August I like to get what they call Freestone peaches, and they're really sweet and they're juicy. So for this recipe I've got, because I fixed these peaches up the other day and put fresh fruit on them, and I put the sugar, because I like my peaches to set 30 minutes to an hour in the sugar before I go on with the rest of the cobbler. That really gets them sweet if there's any in there that's maybe not as sweet. So let them set. I do blueberries that way too when I make blueberry pie. But let them just sort of set in that sugar. And so I did these a couple of days ago, and I'm going to make my pie today. When you let your peaches set, you have to have a few extra peaches. So normally I would use 5 cups of peaches for an oblong dish. I use 6 because they'll juice up more. I love the juice. I love them after they set. That's the way I like my cobbler. So I have the 6 cups of peaches, 3/4 cup of sugar, and they've been setting. I put in spoons of all-purpose flour. I just did that today. I put in a teaspoon of vanilla and a tablespoon of butter. The butter was softened. I left it out all night. To make this topping, this is so simple. Once you get this part done, just mix this up, and it's just really, really simple. Got a cup of flour, all-purpose flour, 1 cup of sugar, 2 beaten eggs, a teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 4 tablespoons of butter. And I use real butter. I don't use margarine. I don't buy margarine, and I don't recommend it. But whatever you have, I guess you can use. Now this is a little bit thick, and sometimes I'll add just a tablespoon or 2 of milk. One time I added a 1/3 cup and it was still good. But sometimes it's just a little thick without the milk. You just have to see how yours turns out. Flour is different on different days. Depends on humidity in your house and all sorts of things. But get that butter broken up, kind of like if you're making a pie crust almost. You know, just break it up in that flour and sugar. When everything mixed up well, my hands are clean, so just use clean hands and just have little pieces of butter in there. Then we're going to add our eggs, and we'll decide if we need a little bit of milk when we make. These are 2 beaten eggs. I'm going to add just about a tablespoon of milk and stir it up. Thin it down just a little bit. That's a little bit, it's still thick, plenty thick, but it's a little bit easier to stir all that flour in. Okay, we're going to dab this on our pie, and that's all there is to it. Just put it on there in small little spoons. Kind of spread it out, and it will just sort of cook up in there, make its own crust. This is a wonderful fresh peach cobbler, and I like to make them every year when I have fresh peaches. I made up one of these the other day too when I was doing this one. I made up just the peaches and the fresh fruit and the sugar, and I put it in a plastic bag. So I've got my 6 cups in the bag. I zipped it up, put it in the freezer, kind of flat, make sure it's zipped really well so it won't run out. And I put that in the freezer. Then when I take it out, all I've got to do is add my flour and butter and vanilla and salt, and then I'll make my topping. So it just kind of gives me enough in a bag to make another one of these. So I don't make these all the time, all year, because we don't need them all year. I'd eat the whole thing almost. So we have to portion ourselves. My kids are going to help eat this one, so we won't be eating all this either. Barbecue with friends, whatever you want, everybody's going to love it. I like to just swirl mine around a little bit, so it's going to get down. You don't stir it deep, just lightly on the top with a knife, so it kind of doesn't have those big clumps of topping in there. They're kind of spread out. You want to pretty much cover the pie. You may not completely, But a lot of this should be covered. You want to make sure your edges have some topping on there. So it's not all just in one spot, one place. If you thin it down a little bit, up to a 1/3 cup of milk, you can pour it on. It's a little easier. And it's very good. Ice cream when we want it. And we like peach smoothies. We've had several of those this week. And just eat them fresh. Can't beat it. They are wonderful. But again, if you get those peaches in the store and they're not quite ripe enough, set them under a carport out of the sun, but in the heat, where they'll soften up and ripen up on you. They're hard to ripen up. They will ripen, but they're really hard to inside an air-conditioned house. So they really need to be out, but you don't want them where the birds can get them and, you know, dirt get on them and all that. Too much sun, direct sun wouldn't be good, but just a carport. It's going in a 350 oven, 30-40 minutes. We'll come back and we'll taste a little bit. It looks wonderful. I love peach cobbler. We're out of the oven. It is hot and it just smells so good. This is a wonderful, wonderful dessert, especially when peaches are fresh. I made a little whipped cream to go with it. I used heavy whipping cream and just sweetened it. Because I'm going to take this someplace, but I'm going to take a little bite out and taste it for you. They won't care. Just a little bite. I'm going to put a little whipped cream on it. Don't need that much. Now this again is very hot, so I'm going to eat it with caution. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. Now I did bake this about 50-55 minutes. You want to bake it until it's just the top crust is getting golden. When it just starts to get golden, it's ready to come out and cool. It's buttery. It's sweet. Not overly sweet, but sweet. Now your topping is absolutely delicious. So I hope you'll try this and watch us on Canyon Star TV.